Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marty Boye again. I'm your presenter on Skill Acquisition Pro. I want to welcome you to this present platform. This is the second lesson of our video presentation on Skill Acquisition Pro. And in this second lesson, we are going to be showing you all the various parameters you have in the dashboard of a blogger platform. I remember in our last lesson, we were taught how to create a Gmail account simply because your Gmail account is what you need to access your blogger environment on Google. Now that we have shown you how to create your Gmail account. Actually, creating a Gmail account is no big deal, but we have to go into it to the basics for the benefit of our newbies in our WhatsApp platform, or let me say those who are new into the computer world, who don't really know how to create their own Gmail accounts. I mean, probably all your life, people have been creating your Gmail account. The last video was an opportunity for you to learn how to create your own Gmail account yourself. Now that you have been taught how to create a Gmail account in the last video, in this next video, you're going to be learning the various parameters that we have in our dashboard environment in Blogger platform. This is where you have various tools that you're going to be using to create your blog on that platform, and this second video lesson is to teach you to introduce you into the various tools you have on that platform so that you can be able to create your own blog with ease. First and foremost, the first thing you are going to do to have access to the Blogger platform, where you have access to your dashboard, is to use your Gmail account to access your Google with your Gmail account. And just as we did in our last lesson, you go to the upper right hand corner of your Gmail. This is where you have your Gmail application display. Once you click on it, it will display all the applications you have in the Google environment. These are all the applications you have. In the last lesson, we went to Gmail simply because we wanted to create our Gmail. This time around on this platform, we have our blogger. If you look at this menu, among all the items in this menu, all the apps in this menu, we don't really have a blogger. So what do? We click on more to display more options. Now it has displayed additional options for us, and here we can see the blogger application. This is the blogger apps, and this is where we're actually going. So among the various applications in this menu, you click on blogger. Fine and good. Yes, now we're in the dashboard environment of our blogger. You can see blogger. Now we want to create our blog. And in creating our blog, you go to the upper right hand corner. You can see this is the dashboard of Skill Acquisition Pro. This is where we create most of the posts that you have been seeing on Skill Acquisition blog. And this time around, we want to create a blog for the purpose of our newbies. We want to show you how to create your own blog from the scratch. So, and that's the reason why we're introducing you to this platform. And the first thing you are going to do, you click on the drop down arrow that will display the menu. Among the items in the menu, you have some blogs that we have created already. You can see P in the Word, Aspire in the Word as a blog. You have Skill Acquisition Pro, that's our major blog in our platform. And we are going to be creating a new blog. So to create a new blog, you click on New Blog. Once you click on that particular menu, it will display what you have on the screen presently. You can see a window. Among the items listed in this window, you have blog list. That is create a new blog. Then the next item there is a title tab where you enter the title of your blog, and then the address. Now in one of our lessons on the WhatsApp platform, remember there was a time we presented a lesson on domain. Yes, here you are going to, the address you are actually going to present here is your domain. And remember in that lesson you were taught about what a domain is and what a subdomain is. And definitely on this platform we're going to be creating our address on a subdomain. Why? Because we are actually using a free domain on the platform of Blogger. Now, if you are going to be creating your own domain, you have to start with a subdomain, and then after creating your subdomain, you now go and buy your own domain. We're going to be discussing more about that, even though we have presented a lesson on that on our WhatsApp platform. Here is the practical presentation of the lessons we had on our WhatsApp platform. So we are going to be entering our title this time around. We just want to enter lesson blog. The title is lesson. We're going to be calling it lesson. So the address we are going to be calling it, we are going to call it lesso.blogspot.com. lesso.blogspot.com. That is the address, and that is our domain. Our subdomain. That is, this is the main domain. Blogspot.com is the major domain, and this is the subdomain lesso.com. You can review the lesson we had on domain and subdomain so that you will have a better understanding of what we are doing, because what we are doing now is the practical illustration of our lessons in the past on the WhatsApp platform of Skill Acquisition Pro. So the next thing you're going to be doing is to pick a template. And remember, in one of our lessons on Blogger, we discussed about templates, what a template is, and this time around you're going to be seeing the practical illustration of how to make use of your templates. Now you go to the scroll bar. You have your scroll bar on the right hand side. You scroll down to see which template will suit the kind of blog that you want to create. Now we're going to be choosing any one. We're just going to go around and say which kind can we choose. Okay, let us pick picture window. We have picture window, we have dynamic view, we have simple view, we have awesome, we have watermark, we have 3U, and so on and so forth. We also have travel. Now this is just an illustration, our sample templates. We still have several other templates we're going to be discussing with, but this template is for beginners. So we're going to choose one. Let us go through this picture. This particular template is good for you if you want to display picture. This is just a simple one, and we have watermarks. We have travel here. So let us pick travel. You select it, and once you select it, you click on the Create Blog tab. We're expecting the next move. That's our you can see it is written there. You can browse many more templates and customize your blog. Later we're going to be treating that specifically in another lesson and video presentation. So the next major thing that we need to do after we have entered our title, we enter our Lesso blog. Okay. I think I seem to be understanding what is the problem here. You can see immediately after the address we have chosen, that is our subdomain lesso.blogspot.com. Sorry, this blog address is not available. That means there is a subdomain called lesso.blogspot.com that somebody is already using. So because of that, the window seems not to be responding. You can see it. Sorry, this blog address is not available. Just remember when we're creating our Gmail account, we discussed something like this, where a particular mail address that we initially chose was not available simply because somebody else is using it. We have the same issue here. Somebody else is using this subdomain. So definitely we're going to add something. Let us call it Lesso blog. lessoblog.blogspot.com. Fine, you can see now our address subdomain is available. This blog is available. Fine, we now have an address, and since the next thing we do, we now pick our templates. We are choosing the travel template, and immediately after choosing the travel template, we click on create blog. Click on the create blog tab. We wait for the system to the Google platform to display, and frankly speaking, we have successfully created our blog, and you can see we are in the dashboard environment of our Lesso blog. So now you can see for yourself. This is the dashboard area, and now the main thing we're going to be doing is what we earlier discussed, that this lesson is about introducing you to the dashboard. Now we're in the dashboard environment of the blog we have created, and we're going to be discussing. If you look at the left hand side of our blog dashboard, you can see the first thing we have is lesson. That is the various, you can see lesson blog. You can see that is our title, lesson. And when we display it, you see several other blogs that we have created, like Power in the Word, P in the Word, Skill Acquisition Pro, and so on and so forth. Just as we did before creating our lesson blog, that is the title of our blog. You can see it here. Now what we have next is posts. We have posts. Under post you have all, and then you have states, you have comments, you have earnings, you have campaigns, you have pages, you have layouts, you have templates, you have settings, reading lists, and help. These are the various items you have on your blogger menu, in your dashboard. And then we're going to be discussing each and every one of them for you to really understand what you use them for. Now let us start with post. Now you can see the post is already highlighted, and that's the reason why it's displayed in orange color. And you can see here new posts on the right hand side of your dashboard, and then you have your various items: publish, revert to draft, your delete, and so on and so forth. You also have, there is no post simply because we have not created a post. And then we have all labels and so on and so forth. Now what do we mean by post? What do we mean by post? Remember, in our lessons on the WhatsApp platform, we discussed about posts and pages. We told you what a post is, and we also told you what a page is. Now a blogger consists of posts arranged in chronological order. Chronological order in what sense? Now by chronological order I mean in a situation where you have series of titles, series of topics displayed one after the other in arrangement. That is in such a way that the last title you post becomes the first you have on a page. I'm going to be making some illustration for you to understand that before we come back to this particular presentation on post, so that you'll have an understanding, because I remember when we were discussing it on the WhatsApp platform, it was theoretical. Now I'm going to be showing you what we mean by chronological arrangement of posts, making use of Skill Acquisition Pro environment. Fine. Now this is the Skill Acquisition Pro blog. This is the blog we created for the purpose of teaching the group what a blog is all about. Now if you look at it, this is our title of our blog, Skill Acquisition Pro, and here we have all these various titles. We have introduction to creating a blog with Blogger. This is a video you have there. That's a video presentation. And then you have perfume. This is another post. This is the first post. This is another post. Now When I said the first page, it is the first post on this page, but it is the last post posted on our platform. And when you post whatever you post last appear first. And what you have here, all these series of posts are what we call chronological. You can see them. These are posts, various posts that we have been discussing on our WhatsApp platform. You have them here. You can see them. You can see them. How to run your blog, production of paints, dome camera, understanding HTTP, update on Meridian Live Support System, Meridian Live Support, that is Melisphone, and then your perfume, and then you also have the last post that we posted, which is appearing as our first post, that is introduction to creating your blog with Blogger, which is actually the present program we're into. As our first video lesson on how to create your blog with Blogger. That is the introduction, and we started with how to create your Gmail account. That happened to be the last post, and it's appearing here as our first item. Now this is all these posts you see that have been enumerated from top to bottom. You can see it, you can see them. These are what we refer to as posts. These are what we refer to as posts. All these items you're seeing are posts. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. We're going back to our dashboard. Here we are back to our dashboard, so that now this post that you are seeing here is the environment where you create all those posts that I just illustrated for you on the Skill Acquisition Pro blog. Now, how do we create our post, our first post? Once you click on posts, it will display what you have on the right hand side. You now click on new post. Still loading. Seem to be having a slow network today. Yes, now it has displayed, and this is the post environment. Once you click on post, once you click on new post, this is where it brings you, and this is where you display your various texts. This is where these are the items you use in formatting whatever you have, just like when you are creating your Word document or Microsoft Word or any Word application. Here we have the environment where we create whatever we want to create, and this is we're going to be coming back later on to make various posts, and we format them, and then you see how they are being displayed. So we're going to go back to our dashboard and continue with the items on the left hand side, so that we learn how to make use of other tools. But these are one of the tools you use in creating your post, and I've made an illustration to you about how a post actually look like, and that is exactly what we meant by, let us look at it again. Let's look at it again. This is what we mean by chronological arrangements. These chronological arrangements, and this is how you recognize what a blog is. Anytime you have titles, topics, messages arranged in this order chronologically, you have a blog. We're also going to be discussing about pages that will enable us to differentiate between a blog and a website. You know, we did that on our WhatsApp platform. Here you're going to be seeing the practical illustration of some of these things we discussed on our WhatsApp group platform. So we're going back to the dashboard again. Fine. Yes, we're now back to our dashboard, and the next thing we're going to be seeing is the states. Now, among the sub menu of the state menu, we have overview, we have post, we have traffic sources, and we also have audience. Now, I'll just summarize. Later on, we're going to be seeing in details how you make use of these particular tools. This is the environment where you monitor your traffic, the number of people browsing your blog, the number of people coming, where they are coming, and so on and so forth, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and yearly basis. That's exactly what the tool is meant for. So now we go to comments. Now, the comment environment is an environment where you view all the comments of your posts or pages on the Blogger platform. What do I mean by that? Each time you make a post and people go through your blog and they read your posts, if they find it interesting, they make comments. If it's not interesting, they make comments. Now, this is where you have access to the various published comments of your posts, and this is where you take decision about various posts that has been made or that were made on your posts. Now, we also have these are the sub menus of the comments menu. We're going to be discussing it later because we're going to have specific titles, specific lessons on each of all these items, on posts, on states, on comments, and so on and so forth. But this is just an introduction for you to understand what the items we have on our dashboard are, and we're moving to the next area, which is earnings. Now, earnings, that is, turn your passion into profits. Actually, a lot of people have been making money on Blogger, and how do you do so? How can you make your blog into a money-making machine? That is what this earning environment is into. Actually, a series of lessons have been dedicated to this particular menu tool, and frankly speaking, this is the most important aspect of creating your blog on Blogger, because this is where the money is on Blogger, and that's why I dedicated series of lessons to this particular topic, and it's on the advanced level. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is campaigns. This one has to do with adverts. If you want to make your Blogger an environment where people can place their adverts, or where Google itself can place your advert, this is what it's all about. This is also on the advanced side. Series of lessons have been packaged for this particular menu. Now we come to the next item, which is page, that is pages. Now, if you look at it, the pages, once you click on it, you have the item displayed on the right hand side. You have new page published, just similar to what we have with posts. Look at it. Let us go to our post again. You see what you have on the right hand side of post and pages are similar, though their purpose are different. So we come to pages again. You can see now, if you want to create, just like we have on post, you want to create a new post, you click on new post. Now you want to create a new page, you click on new page. Now, before we click on new page, we are going to go back to our Skill Acquisition Pro blog and give you a sample of how a page looks like once you create one. Now, yes, this is our Blogger platform of Skill Acquisition Pro, and you can see, as I explained earlier, this is chronological arrangement of posts. This is what enables you to identify a blog. And how do you differentiate a blog from a website? Actually, what we have on this blog is a combination of posts and pages. Now, how do we recognize a page? This is a post, this is arrangement of posts. You can see this one post, this one another post, and that's how it goes downwards. Now let us click on our about menu on our blog and see where it's going to take us to. Now, this is our about page. Whenever you create a page, this is exactly how it will look like. This is a page that was created. Understand? It's a page that was created on Skill Acquisition Pro, and you can see how the page looks like. You can see this is a page, and this page is static. Static in the sense that you only have a topic there displayed on a page, unlike what we have on our home page. On our home page we have chronological arrangement of posts. You can see them. These are various topics arranged in chronological order. Now that is the difference between a post and a page. When you are creating a post, this is how it will appear, and when you are creating a page, this is how it's going to appear. Let's click on our about page again. You can see a particular page shows. Now, what is the similarities? Now, they are similar in what sense? Now, after clicking our about menu, this is what it displays. This page, our about page. Now, if you go back to our home menu where our various posts are displayed, you're going to see that once we click on any of them, let us pick our latest post. For example, we click on this post, it takes us to a page. So that's the similarity. You can also see that it is static here, but the only difference is that where it's coming from, it is arranged in chronological order of posts. Now you can see this is a post page similar with an about page. That is the similarity in between a post and a page. And let us revise the difference again. What is the difference? Now when I click on this about page, it displays what we have here in a static form. But when I click on the home page is where you have all your various posts displayed. You can see it arranged chronologically. Fine. So we go back to our dashboard again. Now you can at least have differentiated between posts and pages for us. Yes, how do we create a page? It's similar to the way we create our post. So you click on new page. Voila. You can see we have similar tools with our post environment. These are your formatting tools. You create your text and you format them just like you have in your Word applications, where you type whatever you want to type here, you create your story and whatever, you format them, you do whatever you have, and so on and so forth. That we are going to be discussing in lessons to come, and that's all about pages anyway. You can see the similarities here. This is a similar environment with that of post. So we go back to our dashboard again by clicking on lesson, and we continue with other items in our dashboard. We have your layout here. Layout. These are layout, and this is the real backbone of our blog. This is where we arrange, we create so many things in formatting our blogs, and we're going to be discussing this. There's a lesson dedicated, a lesson has been packaged for this, and we're going to be producing the video where all these items will be explained. We're going to be explaining to you what a favicon is, what your navigation bar is, what a header is, cross, and so on and so forth. We also discuss many of these items. You see, you need to know what they are and what they are used for. Then we move to templates. Remember when we started with the dashboard environment, in creating our address, we chose a template, and this is a template that we chose displayed here. And by the time we start creating our posts and pages, you're going to see the importance of this particular template, because this is where you will see the format of your blog. Next, we go into settings. Another settings, you can see we have basics as displayed here on the right hand side. We have your post, comments and sharing. is another environment where your posts are being arranged or determined in the sense that information about post also, you want to do some settings as regards your post. You come to this environment. This is different from the comments environment we have here. We're going to be discussing more about that when they were talking about comments. Now we also have email. Yes, these are items we have other settings that we're going to be discussing. We have language and formatting. We have search preferences, as well as other. We also have user settings and so on and so forth. Now the next item we have there is reading list. Reading list. This is where you have information about Blogger. I'm going to be talking more about that. You can see that's a tool in creating another tool in creating your blog, and then we'll discuss that in details, because all this menu you see here, we have various lessons that have been packaged for them, and they are practical lessons, and we're going to be using them in creating another lesson environment for the purpose of our students on the WhatsApp platform, for them to understand how to create their own blog. Now we have the last item on our dashboard, which is help. If you need any help, there's something you don't understand, you come to this environment and you get various information about it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we go back to our first item, which is post. New post. You can see similar to that of creating a page, and you can see here, after creating your post, you publish it. Times you save. Normally what we do before publishing, we save, but what we have on this platform is so that whatever text you enter in your composition environment where you compose your message, the system saves it automatically. In fact, as you are finishing a character, you see this particular button that is called save displaying saving, and it saves automatically. And just for you, this one is just for an illustration for you, and by the time we start by the time you start the real application, you're going to be seeing how it is there. Now after creating whatever you want to create, you click on publish and to post your publish, and then you see it appearing just like we have on our Skill Acquisition Pro blog. And we have various items menu under our post settings that we're going to be discussing later. By the time we start creating our post, we're going to be talking about labels, schedule, permalinks, location, and options. That is all for this particular second lesson of our video presentation. And this is in continuation of our introduction to creating a blog on Blogger. That will be all for this particular presentation, and in our next lesson we're going to be learning how to create our posts. Thank you very much, and more about our lessons will be discussed and communicated to you. And I want to congratulate you for being on this platform, because you are going to be learning so many things being presented to you by Skill Acquisition Pro. I'm one of the presenters. Several other presenters will be coming on board to present other lessons, especially in our vocational area that is being handled by Meridian Life Support. This particular digital presentation is being sponsored by Skill Acquisition Pro, and that is our own contribution to the vision of powering vocational skill with digital skill. And that's why in Skill Acquisition Pro we are mainly focused on digital tutorials, and that's the reason why we are starting with blogging. We have other digital lessons about several other topics that we're going to bring in on board, but we are starting with this, and I want to believe you have learned one or two things. Thank you very much. See you in our next lesson.